welcome. I am Steve Lorella, and welcome to my stream for this week. Um, I'm the .NET Developer Advocate here at Redis, for those of you who have not heard of or met me before. And I like to do the stream every week on, usually it's just whatever Steve happens to be working on that particular week. And this week, we're going to be looking at a particular issue in Redis OM that someone asked about a few months ago, I think back in March or April, but kind of fell by the wayside just because I didn't get around to working on it. Someone brought it up again in Discord later on the later end of last week, I think last Friday, and it turned out that another person actually had, kind of encountered this issue and worked around it in something of a bit of a hacky way. So I want to look into this and see if maybe we can go about creating a solution for people that everyone can kind of get behind and can be kind of useful. So I guess I'll just pull the issue first, and it would probably be helpful if I started up by sharing my screen. Screen one, share. So in Redis OM .NET, we have not this issue, this one. Support dynamic index definition for multi-tenancy, prefix and index name. And so Houston's issue is basically if he wants to create a namespace for the keys that he's working with, he doesn't have an effective way to do that and maintain the index and use Redis OM. So for a little bit of background, I think it's probably useful to show folks what we mean by a prefix and a namespace and context of Redis and Redis search. So let me just quickly bounce Redis real quick. So if I open up Redis Stack Server and then I go ahead and go to Redis CLI. Actually, you know what? Maybe I won't use Redis Stack Server. Maybe I'll just use Redis Stack. It actually might make more sense to sort of show off what we mean here. So I have to also expose 8001. So if I go to localhost 1 and I pull up my Redis Stack database and my Redis Insights GUI, I can start adding keys to this, right? And yeah, say we'll just start with hashes. So he might have this model called customer, right? Doesn't go to TTL, it goes here. He might have this model called customer, but customer, he might only want to create an index for a certain subset of those customers. So say customer, so his particular use case, he wants to create an index per customer. So customer 5, right? But you also might have another bit of his application namespace that's relevant here. And that namespace might be, what is it? Let me just come up with something. Let's say store. So maybe he has a store app, and his store app has the same customer object that another part of his application is using, and he wants to create one per index 5. So then with that, he can throw something else onto the end of this, and so some other random ID onto the end of this, and then he can start adding field value pairs. So foo bar as Zaz. And so the trick is with this, if he wanted to create an index that only saw this. So if he wanted to create an index, the only way he can do that would be in Redis OM, would be to create a customer object like we have in the README, I think. and attach a list of prefixes or an array of prefixes that would be relevant for that index. And his issue is that that set of prefixes has to be defined at compile time. He can't. These all have to be a compile time constant because it's part of an attribute. So he can't just say like he wants this customer to have an index for this customer in this application, this customer 5 right here in this application store. So he's sort of stuck with whatever he's able to define ahead of time. And the solution that he was looking at was dynamically generating classes that have the right attributes, and that all seems kind of hinky. So what we want to be able to do is I want to be able to empower people using Redis OM to define their own dynamic prefixes, right? Is really what we're looking for. We're looking for the ability to create dynamic prefixes. And I think the right way to do this is to add to the Redis collection a prefix name, right? So like that collection will have a prefix that it uses, and add the ability to create and delete indexes from the collection. And so what that'll do is say you want to writer. That's what we worked on last week. But say you have a customer class. Customer class is a document with storage type of JSON, and that's all you've defined. And you have a prop string first name, prop int age. I just have some properties in here. Index both of them, right? And what I think we really want to have happen here is I want to be able to initialize this with a prefix of store customer 5. And this be just a prefix that this uses for creating the index, for defining the prefix for that index, and when things are inserted into Redis, using this prefix as the key name or the basis of the key name, along with whatever other ID goes into it. And if I do that, then I would have to be able to say call dot create index, call dot drop index, and call dot drop index with records, just so everything sort of matches what we have already. Right now, if you're familiar with Redis OM, you know that the create index functionality is all left within the connection class, as well as the drop index. All of that is within the context of the Redis connection. It's not within the Redis collection. Sort of wasn't intended to be. But I think this is probably the right approach for sort of splitting the baby here, for coming up with a solution that should work pretty well and still be within the realm of what we're looking to do in Redis OM .NET. The other thing I suppose we could do is we could say that this is provider.Redis collection func string. It just passes in a function to a string to get a string, which would be the prefix. And I sort of think that's maybe a little too involved. I think it'd just be simpler for people if we gave it a specific overload, just takes a string for what the correct prefix is supposed to be. So I'll close that out for now, and I'm going to bring up Redis OM. Okay. Get status. I'll check out feature dynamic prefixes. So I'll create a new branch called dynamic prefixes. And then, so let's see, what do we want to do here? Well, at the heart of what we're looking to do, so if I go to search tests, I scroll all the way down to the bottom. There are three things that I think sort of need to happen here. First off, we need to add the new APIs. So the Redis collection constructor that takes a prefix name, the provider get Redis collection that creates that adds a prefix name, and then we also need to get the index serializer, so the thing that creates the indexes, to add the prefix name onto the end of the index name. We need to have it add to the prefixes the proper prefix name for the thing. Like, I think that the rest of the stuff here, the complex class name, is just going to be dropped, and it's whatever you tell it to create the prefix. I think is probably the right move here. So this prefix needs to be updated. And then, of course, when we're actually querying things, we need to make sure that we're using the right index name for the collection. So I kind of want to, I'd like to write my tests sort of at the same time as before I write the code, which I know is not a novel thing to do. But in this case, where we don't actually have the APIs yet, I think I'm just going to put a serialize index with prefix, dynamic prefix. New Redis collection, person path. Add subject, add document, storage type is equal to JSON, prop string name, set that as indexed. Another one be hash, so one for each, and simple object. And then I want to be able to pass in the prefix. Prefix colon simple object colon postfix. And then to my mind, I want to, all right, so I'll do that, and then collection.create index, which doesn't exist yet. And I expect this now. Oh wait, I need to pass in my mock object, and then my correct prefix, and then in here I want to call it create index, and then create index should do something along the lines of this. Object prefix equals so I want it to look like that. I want the prefix to be what was the point in doing that? I didn't use that immediately. Prefix. And I want this to be the prefix. Yeah, and then like this is actually what this should look like, except of course this is going to be on JSON, and then we don't care about stop words here because that's not what this was. Schema, I think his name, name as name tag. That should be pretty good. And then I should have the other one, do the same thing. Hash. JSON. And that should do the thing, right? I also probably want to ensure that drop index is working. So in that case, I would just be doing async. So then this will just be mock.verify dot async drop index, and then this whole name right here. Yeah, so this is what I want to have happen. When I create an index, I want it to look like this. Then when I drop it, it should look like that. So that's a pretty good starting place to jump off from. So in Redis. So in Redis collection, so Redis collection, I'll need to add a new I think I actually need to add a couple new constructors. So first off, I need to add one here. It takes that one. Default, and then so this actually needs to have the ring fix. right, so I think that should properly propagate all the way down. If I look at Redis connection provider now, this should have broken this. Yeah, there's a better way of doing that. Prefix equals. Let's see. No, that's not appropriate. So we can change. What if I should just do this? For that. Vert. So everything is reverted now. I think I should just add a private read-only string prefix. And whenever this breaks, should work out. So yeah, the internal for sure, we want to add the prefix parameter onto here. We want to add it as required. Prefix. The font is very small. You might want to try picture-in-picture view, although that will block your command line. It's not a terrible idea, I guess. There we go. Never done that before. Guy is always keeping me honest, though, on making sure that I do zoom in. It's good to have you, Guy. Some people in the wrong place. All right. And then I will need a constructor. So connection pool, save state chunk size. I think I'm going to add. Fix. Uh-huh. I think that ought to do it. That should do it now. So then in the Redis connection provider, let's do this. Size, string prefix. Do it zoom out a bit because I really can't read that well. Oh, nope. Wrong spot for it. There we go. Okay. Now you can pull it from the Redis connection provider with a prefix of oh darn. I am going to need to have this publicly exposed somehow. Search extensions, no. Am I going to have to add it to? Oh, right. Where's this last one? There's going to be a few errors in here, but there it is. That's adding it to the Redis collection and provider. And then the iRedis collection, I also need to add a task will index async task will drop index async task will drop index with associated records async, then a will create index drop index will drop index with associated records. That's the index associated with the that's the index associated with the collection, as well as all the records it indexes. You know what? This is one I always wonder if I should include, and I think I'm gonna continue including it. I included it in the Redis command, so you can run it, but you just have to run it on type right now. I can run it on the collection. All right. So I think in Redis command, I think the next thing to do, I mean, I'm gonna have to go into Redis collection, and I'm gonna have to implement all these, of course. Parent. But I think the trick is in Redis commands. I think I'm also going to add a create index that also takes string prefix. Now, serialized args. So serialized args is what's actually going to have to change. And then I think it's probably pretty straightforward, actually. If not Random dot is null, what's is null or empty prefix. There's that add on. There's that add prefix. That's done. Now in Redis search commands, I should be able to pass in this prefix here. And then it should just work. And that means in the Redis collection, I should just be able to call I think connection might be in the provider. Connection dot create index T, the type of T. And prefix. It's actually one liner, so I can just go do that. Oh yeah, and then in Redis search commands, we of course are also going to have the associated async task. Right. So false 100. There we go. And now for drop index. Same thing for drop index. Excellent. And then, of course, it all just worked perfectly, right? And it's not going to work, is it? Oh, dear. Oh, we're doing this again, aren't we? Property should not follow method. Okay, fine. Uh, the nice thing about style cop is it forces you to be honest. The bad thing about style cop is, you have to do all the documentation live while you're streaming. Um, and it increases the amount at which I have to spell live. Uh-huh. All right. So those are all done. What else is the problem? What else is an issue? A property should not follow method. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine. Build. Yay. Which means that I also have to run prefix. Oh, well, this just shouldn't be an async task. I just completely copy pasted that. Uh-huh. All right, there we go. drop index, or so create index async. Should just be able to pass back connection at create index async type of t and the prefix. Drop index async. I should be able to do the same thing. Conduct drop index async type of t. For completeness, drop index with and associated records. Okay. Async version of this. Prefix. Async. Task. Goal. Async. Oh. Excellent. No. All right. That should do it. Should all just work. We can call it a day, right? Nope, it doesn't work. I think I probably know why, right? It probably is doing everything right except for the actual index name. All right, that does make sense. That was decorated. So index name. Add object attribute index name. Okay, so if it has an index name, we will honor the index name. If it has prefixes, we will not. And all right. So close. Simple object. So wait a second. Hold on. Let's go to search tests and go to create index async, and just break there. See what happens. So serialized params comes back. Name as name. Wait, so on JSON prefix 1, the prefix. Oh, and then schema. Oh, wait. No, hold on. That's there. Prefix 1, prefix schema, $sign.name. Back up. Crap. Okay, so that's fine. What is going on here? It's not behaving. FT create. Yep, that's getting called. JSON prefix 1, prefix colon simple object colon postfix. Schema $sign.name. Oh, oops. Oh. Okay. This ain't colon. Create index. Serialize index. Yeah. There we go. And that should work. Except it still isn't. Oh, but it's the hash one that's broken now. That's good. That's progress. And it's because it should just be name. Yay. All right, so the index creation is now working. So now step number 2 is, so that's like the first part. We're actually able to create the indexes. So the next part is key generation and insertion. So my dog just wanted in. What's going on, honey? You want to say hi? No, she just wants to lay on the floor. All right. So the next part is key insertion. So key insertion should, let's see. When we do a we have this commands connection.set and set async. Oh, I think we should just go down to the base here. return prefix ID. So now that should have broken a bunch of stuff. So I can For those who are wondering why I'm doing this slight weirdness, it's because the way that the method discovery system works in .NET, if I just kept overloading things endlessly, then or adding optional parameters endlessly, then if I change something, it could change the way a method signature looks in the DLL, and that could break people, be a breaking change for folks. So set connection dot set prefix. Wait, object no. connection.set xam prefix null. Right. So that should do it for all those. Right. Now, within the Redis collection, at these insert points, we want to insert a prefix. We want to insert our prefix. So we're just going to start using prefix here. And I, of course, being a bad OSS citizen here, did not correctly, or I guess not being a bad OSS citizen, it's being a bad test-driven development developer. I didn't actually write the tests ahead of time. So if I go to core tests and synchronization tests, effect public void test dynamic prefixes. Am I spelling arbitrary? So for prefix equals that. So sort equal name.split the prefix of 1 and reconstituted that ID. Assert equal Steve reconstituted that name. And we're going to delete reconstituted and then query it again. Equals collection ID key name and then search null reconstituted. And I suspect it's going to collapse on the delete. Okay, so what happened? Debug. An arbitrary prefix. That doesn't look too bad, actually. There we go. That's why on ID so key equals ID.contains prefix. Simple things, right? Again, simple things. So the key name is an arbitrary prefix : oh, duh. Yep. And then Okay, and that's because this is not working correctly. Let's get key bit inside of the object handler. Yeah, I think I just add a string prefix up here. That should also break some things. In a good way. In a very good way. It's doing some good breaking. Redis object handler in here now. Okay. Alrighty. So that's part two, actually. I think that should be part two, right? Well, let's try this. Let's add a couple more things under here because we need to try updates as well. Constituted dot name equals Bob. Collection save. And sort dot equals Bob. Constituted name. No. Constituted. Reconstituted dot name equals Fred. Function dot update. Reconstituted. And then null reconstituted assert dot equal Fred. Gotta try the updates as well. For all these, this is just going to be null. And this is an internal method, right? Yeah, it's internal. So these are just a quirk of the fact that of how this works. I'm exposing the oh. Whoops. There we go. All right, cool. So that all looks like it's working. All right. And then the final bit is just to make sure that the queries are coming out correctly. So in search tests now, well, actually, let me do that. Let me make this. Let me add a non-async version of this one, just so we're covering all of our branches. Oh, that's not going to build. Oh, actually, it will. It just won't work. I'm calling execute async on these. I actually want to do one about. Hopefully, I don't have a breakpoint set. And this is why we write some redundant tests. Okay. Anyway. list. All right. Okay. So now I expect that verify execute async, and the command is going to be ft.search, and then new. So first one is going to be expected index name. Index name. That's going to be name Steve. Zero. 100. Mock.setup. Index name. Let's see what else. I think that should about do it. Run. Yep. Okay, so this goes back to the Redis query type. So the structure is right here. Expression translator, build query from expression. Okay. Yeah, that is going to break a bunch of stuff. But that's okay. Okay. Just a few more here. Okay. So those are all done. Then the Redis query provider. This is going to need one too. Actually, I think it need to hold that onto that prefix. I guess it could. Might as well. I'm dropping it. Redis query provider, which is internal, so I don't mind adding Connection, state manager. What? So this is it's an expression, but what? Oh. Gotcha. There. Then aggregations. I don't know if I want to do aggregations today. That would be next week. Okay, expression translator. So I've added this index name. So prefix addendum equals prefix. Sure, that is no longer the prefix. Of course. Parentheses. And then cool. So that actually works. I don't know. I seem to have run out of time to do aggregations, but I got actually pretty far in this. I got a lot further than I thought I would get. So yeah, I mean, like that actually seems to be working pretty well. I mean, we can create these indexes now, and then we can insert things into them and query them. So I mean, like the only thing we still have to do, I think, is add this to the same feature to an aggregation set. what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to open a PR. Ah, shoot. It's not too late. Fix this still. Is it over here too? It says. Right. Cool. So I'm going to push this up and open a pull request and ask the folks that are commenting on that issue to take a look at it and see if that sort of gets them to where they need to go. But we still do need to add this to aggregations, which I think I'll probably do next week. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Well, anyway, we're at time basically. Some more streaming going on this week. I think Guy is streaming tomorrow. We still have Hacktoberfest stuff going on. So Thursday, Simon's streaming on, I think he's finishing off something with his Raspberry Pi Pico tomorrow. I think it's like a little temperature gauge. Office hours are going to be in Discord tomorrow, as per usual. We're doing it this week in Discord on Friday, and I also believe that Guy is streaming on Friday. I'm not entirely sure what about, but I believe he is streaming. So yeah, anyway, thank you for stopping by and watching me, work on Redis OM for a couple hours. It was fun. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you.